Hey everyone, welcome back for another carnivore update. It's been a little bit since I have talked about what's been going on with carnivore, other than just kind of mentioning in the videos how it's simplified my life, and I stand by that. It really, really has. Something that I can say with all certainty is that never mind how I feel about it or my emotions around eating carnivore or anything, I can tell you that my body is way happier on carnivore. And you know, I've kind of described this process a little bit before, the loads of inflammation dropping at the beginning of an elimination diet, or when I've had to modify my diet radically in the past, where it's like in the first couple of weeks or the first month, I'll notice that it's like inflammation. So that for me shows up as swelling in my entire body, and it's just like, it just goes. And I don't really have to do anything, and I've been far too sick to be able to work out for a number of years now. So it's not like I'm not hiding some secret exercise routine or, you know, restricting my food intake or doing anything like that. I'm eating when I'm hungry. I eat until I'm full. If I get hungry again, I eat again, and then, you know, rinse and repeat the next day. It's that simple. And just knowing that when I do get hungry, even if, you know, I haven't been really hungry for most of the day and then my appetite suddenly shows up, I know that I've got some kind of yummy meat in my deep freeze or in my fridge that I can cook. And I don't really have to think too much about what it is that I'm going to prepare, and oh, does this comply with my food intolerance list, or, you know, is this verboten on this particular diet? No, it's simple. It's meat. Just grab some meat, eat some meat. Still hungry? Eat more meat. I still have been including butter in my diet, and yes, I'm still drinking coffee, and today we're having the cappuccino, the heavy whipped cream cappuccino. Yes, we are. It's that kind of day. It's snowy and like -13 outside here in Calgary, so I wanted something that was like a warm, comfy drink, and that's my go-to. Going to the cappuccino is my thing. In between that, though, I do have days in between coffee. I try not to drink it every single day, and I'm also, you know, I started off carnivore including heavy whipped cream in my diet, and, you know, it's not that I find that it makes me cranky or that I'm getting sugar cravings or anything. I do find that dairy does make me a little bit stuffed up, so it kind of hits my sinuses, so I just have to be careful with how much dairy I'm having. So, you know, and I don't try to have all of my dairy on one day and then I just inadvertently have days that are dairy free without even trying, other than butter. Butter is the one caveat to that. I do eat butter every day. But, you know, to tell you how my clothes are feeling, this t-shirt, I remember when I bought this t-shirt, probably, I don't know, it's been a year and a half, maybe longer than that. And when I bought it, it was quite snug all over, and it's a longer t-shirt, and I like sleeping in this one, so it kind of doubles as t-shirt and pajamas. But now it's like, it's loose on me, like all the way down, and before it was really tight all the way down. And I mean, I can tell you that this region, girls, if you've got large breasts, we'll say, I'm very happy because the inflammation and the swelling has come down in this area too. So I'm down a bra size, which for me is really, really good because it does impact my back. I'm not a very tall person. I'm 5'5", and we were getting into some areas of bra shopping that I was feeling a little uncomfortable with, because I was just noticing how I felt like I was constantly walking around like this to try and support my bosom. And now my shoulders are starting to feel much more relaxed. My back feels more relaxed. And I just feel like I'm carrying a lot less weight in the front. As far as the scale goes, I haven't weighed myself for a few weeks. I try not to weigh myself. I've never found that that is a reliable indicator for my body, as far as, you know, like I could have been the healthiest, fittest, working out loads, and I would still weigh more than I looked by a good 15, you know, between 10 to 20 pounds actually. So I just kind of go more by what's my body feeling like. As far as pain goes, my medication use to control my pain has probably dropped by half, which is, that is a wonderful, wonderful thing. That is great. That gives me hope that, you know, I may not have to rely on things like the fibromyalgia meds that I'm taking and the biologic medication for my psoriatic arthritis, that maybe I won't have to take those for the rest of my life. That would be really great. And, you know, those are kind of my primary concerns long term, that I'm just not a big fan of having to take loads and loads of pharmaceuticals. And I've explained a little bit of my pain journey in the past, and when I went and had a conversation about long-term pain management with my family doctor a few years ago now, because I was getting to that point where I was in so much pain all the time that I probably could have gotten a prescription for just about anything, and that's not what I wanted. I wanted some alternatives, and my family doctor and I settled on medical cannabis. If any of you have questions about that, I may do a separate video on that. But that's been something that it was a lot easier for me to control my pain in that way, and to be able to adjust the dosage as needed. So, but anyhow, like I was saying, my need for pain meds it's been reduced by about half. I do have some days where I have higher pain, or if I'm dealing with a migraine, or, you know, if I woke up and something was popped out of my back, then yeah, I kind of have to deal with that. That's my sudden onset acute pain that shows up, and it's just good to deal with it, know that it's temporary, and then it'll get better. And usually within a few days, that kind of settles down a little bit, and my body starts to readjust. So, and really, as far as, I guess, availability of food with COVID-19, it is so easy to hand off a grocery list right now, because I do have my family going and doing grocery shopping for myself and my daughter. And it's very easy when I'm just kind of like, I need a pack of ground pork. I need a big eye of round with a nice fat cap on it so I can cut some steaks. I need some butter, salted and unsalted. I need some heavy whipped cream, and then adding the things that I need for my daughter, you know, so whether it's fresh fruits and veggies, or whether it's tortillas for her, because she's still on a fairly standard diet, although she does love the fact that I make bacon, and that, you know, we crisp up the steak fat and we make it taste really good. Oh yeah, she's given me one of these over here. She's supposed to be doing her homework, but she's eavesdropping. We're kind of sharing the living room as our home office at the moment. But anyhow, it's been great, because even cooking a lot of bacon gives you a lot of bacon fat. And I love that for making my pork patties or my pork meat cookies. And I'm enjoying eating cold pork meat cookies right now. That is what is making me happy. I was doing ground beef for the first little while, and then I thought, no, I need to switch it up. As you're progressing through your carnivore journey, so you might find that your tastes kind of change over time. And, you know, for the first little while, I just couldn't get enough steak, you know, so I was cutting my own steaks out of that big roast and eating hamburger patties and eating bacon and eggs. And now I'm finding that I'm still tolerating eggs quite well, where I didn't before starting this. And I was concerned that eggs might be kind of off the table for me, but slowly reintroducing eggs and realizing that I can eat eggs almost every day without feeling a significant impact from that. That is just such a blessing, because eggs are cheap, they're delicious. You can cook them 50 different ways. It's one of my favorite foods, and it always has been. And when I had my food intolerance diagnosis of, being severely intolerant to egg yolks and moderately intolerant to egg whites and intolerant to chicken, those kinds of things, I was really sad. Now, speaking of chicken, I have eaten a little bit of chicken, more so in the form of chicken wings, just a couple times in the last 2.5 months, I guess. Or I guess it's been 2 months. Yeah, so, and that was fine. And I didn't feel that the chicken wings made me feel gross or anything. And I had hot wings, and, a Frank's Red Hot sauce is pretty much 0 carb. There's not a whole lot in it. And so as a treat, yeah, I'm good with that. It's not something that I would eat every day. And I do eat a little bit of hot sauce here and there, but right now I'm rationing my hot sauce because I'm starting to run low, and I'm about to run out of my 2 favorite El Yucateco hot sauces. I might have to see if I can buy them online or something, because normally I would go to the fabulous little Latin markets that we have here in Calgary and stock up and just buy a couple bottles and have them in the pantry. But yeah, so food availability hasn't been an issue for me, and we've got loads of food here for my daughter. She's been eating very well, and yeah, am I still helping her with doing things like baking and fun things in the kitchen? Absolutely. We have had a chocolate cake sitting in our kitchen since yesterday, and I don't even want it. Before, oh my God, you couldn't even keep chocolate cake in this house, because I would be all over it, regardless of whether it was gluten-free or not. Because if I was determined to have chocolate cake, it just had to be really good chocolate cake. And now I'm looking at it and I'm just like, it smells really good, but I don't want to eat it. And as a really funny kind of side note, I've started having dreams now where I'm out with people and I suddenly look down at my plate and realize that I ate bread, or that I ate wheat, or that I ate something in my dreams, and I'm like, why did I do that? I don't even want that anymore. Why did I do that, And I hear the people in my dreams saying, well, it's not that bad. It was just 1 bite, or it was just 2 bites. And then I wake up and I'm like, whoa, okay, thank goodness, that was a dream. And it's not like I'm going to sit here and vilify people who are still eating a standard American diet and that they eat wheat and lots of carbohydrate and stuff. If that works for you, I've said it before, you do you. You do what works for you. If your body is happy and you're happy with how you feel, then you just go for it. I know that in the past 2 months, I have seen such a huge change in my body, and even like losing all of that inflammation on my stomach and in my tummy. It feels like, because when you're eating a lot more fat and protein, your body starts being composed in a different way. It really is, and there's no other way to explain it. And other long-term carnivores, people who've been doing this for 5-10 years plus, will attest to this, that it's not by going to the gym and doing tons of cardio and doing lots of weight that they ended up having really good skin tone and skin quality, because there are a lot of carnivores who don't work out really regularly, other than their daily activities, which for most people is quite a lot, especially if you're a busy parent and you've got some young kids and you're chasing your kids around. I'm convalescing from several chronic illnesses and a genetic illness, so I don't have the energy to work out, and it just feels good. Like I'm walking around and I feel less pain. I feel less heaviness in my body. So I'm really, really grateful for that. So that's kind of my carnivore good news. And speaking of good news, if you want to check out the video that I posted the other day about Hero of the Day, I'd love for you to go over to that video and comment below who your hero of the day is. If you've got someone who's doing extra special things during this difficult time with COVID-19 and quarantining and self-isolation, you know, nominate them, whether it's a family member or your mailman or, you know, whoever it is that's in your community that's driving change or driving positive efforts. I would really love to hear about it so that we can give them a shout out and give them some recognition. And also, I've created a good news playlist where I'm starting to save things that are all about good news. So like the videos that John Krasinski's been posting. He started Some Good News Network from his home, and I find the videos are adorable. And I also posted on there one of my Zero Carb Life videos that Kelly Hogan just posted, where she talks to a whole bunch of carnivores who just share the good news of what's happening on their journey. So if you're still curious about carnivore and you haven't started it, or maybe you're thinking about starting it, drop any questions that you have in the comments below, and I would highly recommend you go and watch that video where it's carnivore good news pretty much. And there's a variety of people, local and far away, like as far away as Australia and as close as Olds and Lethbridge. She's talking to everybody, and all their stories are different, and their reasons for finding carnivore and starting it are all different. So, you know, I definitely recognize my own story in a couple of the stories that were on there, and I'm really happy to be a part of the carnivore community because I don't find that this is weird anymore. When I first started it, I had to kind of break with that mindset of traditional eating, which wasn't that hard for me, truthfully, because I had already done so many doctor prescribed and weird diets in the past that this was just another elimination diet when I started it to see if it was going to make a difference. And it wasn't even a couple of days. You know, I started feeling little small changes. So celebrate every little victory that you have right now, people. We need those victories. So anyhow, for today, I'm really glad that you joined us. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to give us a big like, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know exactly when the next videos are dropping. So for today, this is SickMom checking out.